Hello there, Taurus, and welcome to your October reading. I hope that this month is getting off to a great start for everyone. Before we get started, just a quick reminder that you can always use this for your sun sign, your rising, and also for your moon. I'd like to kick things off today with a big thank you to everybody that has been supporting me over the past few years. We're really close to a milestone here on YouTube. I nearly have 100,000 subscribers, and that really means a lot to me. It humbles me, and it's further than I thought I would get. And so I just want to say thank you because your support has made that possible. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and keep sharing. And hopefully we can keep the growth of this channel alive and strong. As a special thank you for all of the assistance that you've given me in making this goal happen, I'm going to do a live video, hopefully a week after that happens, and I'll be posting some information as I get closer to that milestone to ask you what you would like to see in that video, since it'll kind of be viewer's choice. So more to come on that, and thank you again for making it possible. Likewise, if you just like to give back and say thank you for the original content that I put here each month, it's completely optional, but it definitely does help in buying supplies and just making the time for the videos. So if you want to donate $1, you can do that either through Patreon or through my website, and I just put some information at the bottom of the video. You can also click that second link right beneath the video as well. So with all of that being said, why don't we get directly into what you came for, which is the forecast. The way that I arrive at the channeled information each month is I select a deck of cards, and then I engage in automatic writing and meditation to see what's coming through. When I was doing that for you this month, I saw an image of someone crossing a finish line, and it seemed like they had the blinders on that you would normally see on like a racehorse. And what I inferred from this was that it's important to really tune out negativity and naysayers this month. And this was the message in particular. You're capable of more than you imagine. Tune out distractions, tune out negativity, and set your goals as high as possible. Don't limit yourself. I think what's really important this month is to allow the universe to kind of let you know if you've reached too far or if you need to reach further. Don't listen to people so much. It's your heart and it's the signs and the symbols around you that are going to be the most important. And I think that so often we have people in our lives that are trying to help us by saving us from disappointment. And they might just say, are you sure you really want to do that? Or you can't do that. That's, it's not worth your time and energy, or you'll be wasting your effort. I think that if you have a dream and you really want to go for it, you should be able to at least give it a shot and not let somebody take that away from you before you've had a chance to experience the struggle and see if it's worth it. Of course, there are no guarantees in life, but if you don't at least give a shot at something that you really want, then you are guaranteed that it won't happen. And so I think the difference between successful people and people that don't achieve their goals is successful people kind of don't take no for an answer, and they keep trying even if the odds are against them, because they have that vision of what's possible. So I want you to lock onto that vision, and if you believe it, don't stop until you've achieved it, okay? At this point, I like to be quiet. I'm going to pull the Celtic Cross and look at the overview for the month. I'll rejoin you as soon as the cards have been pulled, and then after we look at that, we'll expand the forecast, which includes health, wealth, love, and destiny. Some pretty exciting cards coming through, I have to say, but before we get into what's in front of us, let's go ahead and take a look at the catalyst. And for me, the catalyst is a way to draw connections between everything that we see, and also a way to maximize the opportunities, perhaps eliminate any of the potential pitfalls for the month as well. So your catalyst this month is the Sun. Now, as you probably noticed, the Sun card was reversed. This is one of those cards that no matter what, it's a pretty positive card, but the reversal of this does indicate a focus on self. For you, what I'm seeing with this is, since it's in the catalyst, the connective thread, you should be focusing across all parts of your life on making sure that you feel okay with things. And look at how your feelings and your projections are affecting other people and other situations around you. Once you resolve issues of conflict, particularly relationships, because when I see this color and when I think of the sun, I'm thinking of solar plexus, and I'm thinking of how you are feeling in relationships of love, relationships in your family, and even just your relationship with your own person, with yourself. Once you heal these relationship sort of umbilical cords in your life, then you're going to be in a much, much better place, and you'll be able to see everything, and you'll be able to take those blinders off. Because right now, those are actually the connections that could be causing a little bit of feedback. And that's why I saw you maybe just trying to ignore it or needing to ignore it. This card is saying that one alternative to this, you can go about this month in two ways. You can either tune out, or you can heal and then not even have to wear those blinders. And that's probably the elevated way to do this. So think of relationships in your life that need to be healed. Send love through those connections and then let them go. Because the interesting thing with etheric cords is they only have power if you give them power. And if you let go of a cord on your end, if you cut it, if you sever it, if you just let it sort of wither and separate, then it can no longer feed off of you. They're like umbilical cords. Once pinched, once disconnected, there's no more ability to feed from that. And so this month, what I want you to do is to heal yourself, find ways to feel self-sustaining, to nurture yourself, and that's why this card's in reverse. Take a look at your nutrition, take a look at if you're happy, take a look at if you're healthy, all parts of yourself. You have to be whole this month, first and foremost. This is then going to give you the ability to go after that dream and that possibility that I was seeing in the channeled information. So you have options. You always have choices. You can either tune out and look at the future, or you can pause, and that's what the catalyst is saying, and fix things. Because one thing that you've probably seen after looking at many horoscopes from year to year and month to month is if you don't fix things, they come back cyclically. So this is your chance to, it's almost like pruning a rose. Get rid of the overgrowth or the dead branches and allow for new things to come through. And that's your choice this month. So focus on yourself, not in a way that's selfish, but in a way that's healing, and honor what's necessary to encourage growth in the future. Particularly the solar plexus, and particularly any sort of cording that exists within the solar plexus. Okay, let's take a look at all the cards now, one by one. Your center card is Ace of Pentacles, meaning that this month is really ripe with all kinds of opportunities for growth. There's a possibility that many of you may be coming into money or leaving, starting a job, but there's a big change happening with money. And I mention that because your crowning card is death. And for me, death is transformation. It's a window, it's a portal. It could just as easily be called Genesis or transformation or endings and beginnings. And so because it's connected, I have to turn the camera down for a second. We have death, Ace of Pentacles, and the Tower. I'd be very surprised if some of you aren't experiencing some sort of a shift, a change, or a growth within your money sector, because it looks like this is the month to move from one job to another, to move from one house to another, from one state or country to another, or to change your relationship with your money. Because with the Tower and Death on either end, they're two highly transformative cards. You have to shift, you have to change. What's good is you have a lot of growth cards around this. So if you're going to have those big cards, I'd rather them be in the past and in the crowning position, because what that shows me is change is afoot. Let's look at everything again one by one, and I'll give some more information here. So back to the center, Ace of Pentacles. What's the most important thing this month? The crossing card here, which is King of Swords. This is something that I'm seeing across multiple signs, and it bears repetition in it, and it's something that we want to pay attention to because it keeps showing up. And that's to be honest, transparent, and outspoken when it comes to questions, concerns, and emotions concerning money and resources in your life. Don't be afraid to speak up. Your voice has merit, your opinions matter, and if you're not comfortable with something, there's no way you should move forward with it. So that's the first thing that I'm noticing. The next is that many of you have already been sort of making changes within your life. The Tower reversed it happens when we have knowledge or desire or some sort of a heads up that change is happening, and we often participate in it. So I think some of you over the course of the last year have been making necessary changes within your life to either better your money or job situation or to gain knowledge. And so all of the fruits of that labor are starting to come in this month. As we look at recent past, we have the Magician card, which is very favorable, especially considering its position between that sort of nexus of death and the Tower. So I actually think that you have options. There's one thing that you want to be careful of whenever the Magician exists, and that's not to overextend yourself and not to get distracted by sometimes paperwork, by sometimes just all of the options in front of you. It can almost be, I get a quick flash of like the Seven of Cups where you're trying to figure out which way to go. So you want to trust your intuition this month more than ever, and we'll look at this and hopefully help you home into your own intuition, but you don't want to sort of get lost in thought, because that could also be incapacitating for you, and we don't want that. Seven of Swords, there's a need for many of you to walk away from something. So this could be someone that you don't trust. It could be a toxic work situation, or someone in your life where it's not worth the effort that you've been putting into that relationship. You keep trying, but it doesn't work. And at a certain point, we all know when something is kind of broken and it's time to move on. So for many of you, you've got that option this month. The Seven of Swords is a nudge and some encouragement for you to basically realize that it's okay sometimes to, even though you've put in all of that energy, to walk away, because then you get to redirect and siphon that energy into something that's going to be much more conducive and much more reciprocal to your energy. As we look at what that might be, as I look at your ego, I have the Knight of Cups in reverse. And it feels like some of you may have not been giving yourself permission to either experience love or joy or to express yourself fully. If it's expression that's been missing, this card is saying, don't be afraid to be yourself. In fact, when we look here at your environment, we have the Fool. And when we look at opportunities, we have the Star. The Fool is about risk-taking. And the Star, when it's reversed, is about no longer feeling like you have to put on a show or to hide your true colors. It's kind of like a peacock that opens up and says, here I am, look at me, it's okay, this is who I am. So if there's been a part of your life where you just feel like you've been ready and willing and even dreaming of trying something new, it could be a new job, it could be just letting people know what you're passionate about doing, or maybe you've been working on something for a long time and you finally want to let people in and let them know, this is the time to do it. The Star and the Fool are saying it's okay, be yourself. And that's kind of like one of the big themes of the spread today is, once you allow yourself to sort of truly integrate and truly show who you are, people then have a choice to either embrace or walk away. And this is when you figure out who your friends are. Your outcome card is Justice reversed. So there are so many indications this month of change that I'm really encouraging you to embrace it if you feel it coming. And if you don't, then this is a time when you could start new things. If you've ever sort of felt stuck in your life, because death can indicate that feeling of being at a point where you just sort of think, I don't know, I've been showing up every day and doing stuff, but I don't feel like I'm actually getting ahead, whether that's in life, at school, after retirement, you're just feeling like this sort of emptiness or being stuck. This month is when you can decide, I'm going to try something new. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to take a trip. I'm going to start a new class, start a new business, whatever. There's some sort of a risk on the horizon that will invigorate you, and an opportunity that could create a flow of self-worth, independence, money. And so I want you to embrace that if that's on the horizon for you. For those of you that might be sort of sitting in something that you know is no longer the best thing, it could be a job that you're just not getting getting the respect that you think you deserve, or getting the payment that you think you deserve, or a relationship where you don't trust the person that you're with. This month, all signs are indicating that it's a good time to leave. We have Death and we have Justice reversed. To me, these are absolute textbook examples of a chance for you to move on. And so endings and beginnings, that's really what this month is opening up for you. And an encouragement and a message that it's going to be okay, but not only that, that it's okay for you to focus on yourself. Especially for those of you that are deciding that you have to let something go in your life. So you're gonna remove something and then fill yourself back up with what you want instead, rather than sort of a codependent relationship between either a situation or a person. You let it go and then you heal yourself. And that's really the big opportunity for you this month. And for many of you, again, even if there's a loss of a job or you leaving a job, I think that ultimately there's a new horizon, a new opportunity that is going to be equal to or better than what you're leaving behind. And it usually is that way, isn't it? When we look back on some of our past errors or jobs that we've taken, that you just think, why did I do that, or why didn't it work? But then you think, I'm so happy that I went through it and I let it go, because now I'm in a better place. I learned from it, and in letting it go, I was able to find something that is much, much more fulfilling. So that's really what you have at your fingertips this month, is a chance to do more or do better than you have been doing. And the key to this is expressing yourself, taking a risk, integrating and letting people see who you are, and not being afraid to sort of call your own bluff. And for some of you, that is walking away if it doesn't work out, or letting people either accept, kind of embrace you, or reject you. And so it may be 50-50 for some of you, but know that that's going to help you truly identify who's in your court and who can support you. Let's expand this forecast a bit, and we'll get some more insight into all of this. And then, of course, at the end, when we do the recap, we'll have a better ability to bring all of this into focus. I like to start off the expanded forecast with a health card. I see health as an all-inclusive card that looks at your mind, body, and spirit. Let's give it a shuffle now and see what the message is for health this month. Your health card this month is completion. So the completion card is in reverse, but let's just bring it upright for a second so we can focus on the illustration. It looks a lot like judgment. And for me, judgment usually has to do with big decisions in your life. When I look at completion, I see endings of cycles. And so for some of you, this could be the end of a cycle that's existed within your family. Maybe there's been a lot of people that have had diabetes, or have been at a high risk for other illnesses that might be avoidable. What it's all about now is changing lifestyle, being more preventative in your personal care and your approach towards the future, and making a decision to yourself that you're going to try to end the feeling of being out of control or allowing the cycle to continue. So this is a great time to set new goals and, again, try to overcome family histories or family predispositions to sort of have certain things happen within your body. This can also be a card of letting go. And for those of you that are unfortunately dealing with someone that is sick, this card can show a feeling of being at peace with that. Either they've overcome that, or they're letting go and they're ready to transition. And the most important thing with respect to that is to be there for them, but also to take care of yourself. And that's why this card came through. So make sure that you have someone to talk to, that you're also just practicing good self-care, getting enough sleep, maybe treating yourself to something like a massage, especially if you're a caretaker, and just making sure that that personal love and self-care is happening. And that's why the sun was there as well. So let's look now at your wealth card. Wealth, of course, includes all types of opportunities, and also your relationship with money, not just is money coming in. So let's give it a good shuffle and see what's coming through for wealth. And the message for wealth this month is the sun. Interesting. We've got a lot of cards that are showing similar messages. So what I like about the sun, it's going to take a different meaning in wealth. When I look at this, it's about one solar year, one circle around the sun, rather. So looking at your current cycle, things can take a very positive upswing, but it's going to be about a 12-month cycle to get either to a place of recovery or to get to that goal that you're trying to accomplish. The Sun card is also really encouraging you to think of doing something on your own or for yourself. So for any of you that are thinking of doing something entrepreneurial, your own business or a partnership where you're still in a sort of a controlling either relationship or you have the controlling stock or something like that. This is really encouraging you to be the voice in that. It's your time to shine, and it's your time to do something you like. This sun is interesting because it almost looks like the sun within an Ace of Cups. So what I'm going to say with this is getting back to sort of like passion and what you really love, because I'm not seeing enough of that here. And we saw the Knight of Cups in reverse in the ego. This is your time to go after something that you want. And if I'm looking again at the channeled information, you're capable of doing it. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to start to believe in your voice over others. So let's go ahead now and take a look at love and see what information is coming through for relationships in your life. Knowing that love isn't just romantic, but it's also all types of intimate relationships. So let's give this one more shuffle. There we go. All right. And your message this month is a great adventure. And it's interesting that we have so much parity, so much that is coming through and echoing. All these cards are echoing one another. So I have the Fool, which for me is a card of traveling. It's kind of like a vagabond card. And here we have in love this adventure card, which shows that some of you may find either the love of your life, or you may have a wonderful adventure with someone that you love by taking a trip, by moving. And that's what we see here with the Tower. So there's encouragement for those of you that are thinking about or are ready to make a big shift or a big leap of faith. This could be the way to not just find the love of your life, but more importantly, find yourself. And that's really how we attract our higher partners or our divine partners. They see us on our own soul's path, doing something that really, really inspires us. So, and then they're attracted to that. So if you can find what really moves you and go after it, that's going to be the biggest adventure ever, because you're going to discover yourself and possibly the true love of your life. Or if you're with someone, that love will go deeper and the two of you will see each other for who you truly are. So travel is really important with respect to relationships. If you're in an existing one, think of planning a trip with your loved one. If you're single, think of just doing a trip in an area that you like. If you've always thought of going to the Mediterranean or Scandinavia or Australia or wherever in the globe that you want to go, take a trip, either with friends or on your own, because this is going to open up your heart and you might meet some people that change your life as well. Let's look now at your Destiny card, knowing that Destiny is really that overarching GPS, helping you decide, am I on the right path? Do I need to make adjustments, etc.? Let's give this a good shuffle, and remember that this is going to encourage you to exercise free will. So let's see what the card has to say. So we have Diana here, focus intention. It says, think about what you desire, set your sights high, expect the best possible outcome, which was almost exactly what I was saying at the beginning with the channeled information. And I think the reason that this is coming through for many of you is you may not have had the support that you need in your life to know that it's okay to dream, it's okay to dream big, and you should have a chance to go after the dream. You'll never know unless you give it a shot. The worst that happens is it either takes longer than you think or it doesn't happen. But imagining at the end of your days that you had a choice between trying and failing or not trying at all and sort of wondering, why didn't I do it? It's so much better to at least give it an attempt, because oftentimes you win and you get what you want. So I want you to kind of believe that you're not going to just be the one that tried and failed. You're going to be the one that tried and won, or tried and had a great time experiencing it. And maybe it took you through some winding path, but who knows where you'll end up, or more importantly, who you'll meet as you're trying to do this. So the overarching theme this month is letting go, opening up new opportunities, and taking risks. Really exciting. A lot of endings and beginnings for your sign. It could be a little bit scary for some of you, but I think it's also invigorating if you choose to embrace it. Let's try to bring all of this into focus, because there was a lot to take in, even for me, and so I'm going to try to bring it into a nice, concise overview for you. Your channeled information this month was almost a complete echo of that GPS or Destiny card, which was, you're capable of more than you think. Tune out naysayers and set your goals high. Don't limit yourself. And just to repeat what the last card said, if you read it, it says, Think about what you desire. Set your sights high. Expect the best possible outcome. So by focusing your intention and your beliefs on that, you're really opening yourself up to that possible future. Your catalyst this month was encouraging you to focus on yourself, particularly your solar plexus, your relationships with people in your life that might be broken or might be haunting you a little bit. And with respect to that, some of you are going to decide to not just release the cord, but also maybe let go of the relationship. This could be a divorce, a breakup, an estrangement. But if it's for the right reasons, there's nothing to worry about. It's about that natural evolution of some relationships, and it's just time to move on. Turning the camera down so you can see everything. Here in the deep past, we have the Tower. It's reversed. It shows a lot of you have been doing work on yourself and preparing for the change that's coming through this month. The big change that we saw here at the center was in respect to your money, your career, your resources. And it's important for you to really speak your mind here. And as I'm looking at this, I got a little download of Athena too, because I'm looking at what could be some sort of a bird of prey here, but I looked at it and I thought knowledge. So I really want you to share your knowledge, ask for assistance, dig deeper if you need to, but know that your voice has not only a place at the table, but it's important for others to hear what you think. Ultimately, you're in a position of power and decision making this month. The magician is one of manifestation, so don't be afraid to embrace that power. Sometimes it's scary when you have to be the one making the decisions, but it's also extremely invigorating and empowering to be the one that is kind of pulling the strings. So I want you to own that and just try again not to get distracted. As we look at your crowning card this month, it's all about change. It's Death Upright, which is showing a portal into transformation, into shifting. That is a good position for it, and it's also a good position within the spread. So as we look at what you need to be focusing on to be able to embrace the positive aspects of Death and the Tower, it's to be able to cut your losses, to walk away from things, even if you've invested some time and energy in them. If you've decided that they're kind of like not reciprocating your efforts, or they're just a sink of energy. So, and also if you don't trust someone, or if you think something's being done behind the scenes, this is your chance to sort of enforce and embrace transparency and not put up with that anymore, basically. I want you to have some more fun. I want you to follow your heart, because it looks like in the ego here we have with the Knight of Cups in reverse, either a state of being unhappy or denying yourself sort of that ability to express and explore that creative side. Whatever it is for you, try to turn this card upright by having a little bit more fun. For some of you, this could also include social interactions, whether it's dating or deciding to just hang out with friends. It's good. It's actually going to be beneficial to make some room for that this month. In fact, it's connected to the Fool card, which is all about risks and trying new things, meeting new people, and it's also about travel. And as you saw here when we expanded the forecast, that's also echoed within your love portion, which is that by getting out of your immediate circle and your immediate community, you might actually meet someone that could change your life. When we look at opportunities this month, the opportunity is to integrate and be yourself, to shine like the star, not to hide, not to mute your light for others. So try to be the best version of yourself and inspire others, and start by inspiring yourself, because when you believe in yourself, others have really no option but to do the same. But it's hard for them to get behind you if you don't believe in yourself. And once again, your outcome card is Justice reversed. The important thing with this, I think, for you is to try to find balance in your life and to use that magical word that sometimes is hard to use, which is no, or for some of you even saying goodbye or walking away from something. There's a need to sort of stand your ground and do what's important for you, even if that means letting go, saying goodbye, or walking away. This is going to free you, and as long as it's done in a way that is loving, is fair, and is absolutely balanced, you don't have to worry about it, because that's your truth, and this is going to set you up to really shine and be your own person. Again, let's go ahead and review the expanded forecast. Looking at health, it's a chance for you to end cycles, to start new ones. If there's anyone in your life that is going through something, it looks like this month they're at least getting some clarity on it, whether it's coming out of the woods or understanding that they've done all that they can do. And in that case, you need to be there not just for them, but also be there for yourself. Make sure that you get whatever help, whatever support that you need this month. Looking at wealth, we're looking at a 1-year process here for many of you to get to a place of stability or the growth that you've hoped for. Looking at this card, we can see that it's a combination of the Ace of Cups and the Sun, which is really getting back to what we saw with the Knight of Cups, which is to go after something that is part of your desire, not just something that's going to sustain you. You have to feel it. It can't just be something that's going to pay the bills. To go deeper in love, you have to sometimes go further away from where you're at. Trying new things, exploring new things, taking a risk on a new love that could be coming into your life, because we have the Fool card in there. Could be someone younger, it could be someone that has a bigger sense of adventure than you do. And if you are already with someone and maybe you're either wanting to take, again, a trip or take a chance, or they are, say yes, do it, because it feels like this is going to be a very good change for you. And it's a good way to get out of some of this energy. When I'm looking at like the Tower, the Death card, and the Seven of Swords, yeah, you need a movement, you need a break, you need a vacation. That's the perfect way for you to get back to that place of joy and love. Finally, we already talked about this a couple times, but believe in yourself. If you believe in yourself, opportunities open, portals open. And that's, again, this could just as easily be called rebirth or genesis. So I want you to think of the end of this month as being sort of an open door, and it's up to you to sort of decide where that door is leading, okay? So really exciting month for your sign, a lot of changing, and I don't often see this many major arcana cards. Looking at like the Magician, Death, the Star, Justice, those are really big. And the Tower. So all of these are really, really big, and they're going to create this sense of movement and opportunity for you. So that brings this monthly reading to a close, but just a reminder that if there's ever something that goes on in your life and you want a little bit more clarity, more than I can do in a general reading, feel free to reach out to me. If you look at the first link below the video, that's a way for you to schedule a reading, and you can look at rates and availability there. If you'd simply like to say thank you and lend some support to this channel, as I said at the beginning, you can make a donation as small as $1. That goes a long way into helping me buy supplies and just setting up the time that I need to do these videos every month. So to do so, you can join me on Patreon or click on the link and go to my website, and there'll be other ways that you can donate as well. If you'd prefer, you can simply stay in touch with me on social media. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. I also have a newsletter, and like I said, liking and subscribing here and sharing these videos is also a big help. So any and all of that is welcomed. The third link below the video will show you how to connect across all of those networks. And now for my favorite part of each video each month, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for doing the work, and it's interesting that we saw both the Sun and the Star, and actually multiple suns this month, but what I really want you to focus on is taking your internal light and shining as brightly as possible. Even in the midst of changes, of difficulties, of losses, this is the time when your brightness, your energy, and your vitality is more important, not just in your own life, but on the planet in general. And so in doing so, you're going to be someone that inspires others. And that's really what I hope to do for everybody, is to help you see your potential. And that's what this card and also the channeled message was encouraging you to see. If you can open up that idea that you're worthy and you're ready to receive, then the universe starts to open up passageways so that you can receive. And that's what this is about for you. This is a new beginning. So I'm encouraging you to embrace that. Can't wait to see where it leads for you. I know there's some things that you have to work through this month, but you have what it takes, and it's worth it. You want to keep aiming high, okay? Wishing you the best, wishing you all of the success, and that hopefully you can take this great adventure and have some fun as well. Much love and light. I'll see you real soon. Take care and enjoy October.